Welcome back to another episode of All of Fabric 6. Over the past few episodes, things have taken a slightly darker turn. We have become a witch, a warlock. We now, on command, transform into a werepire, which does make us take off all that gear, which is concerning that I'm going to drop stuff in the lava. And we've summoned demons, taken them out, and we've just really abused old Beelzebub over there. I've called him Beelzebub, I've stuck him in a boat, he's been in that pen, and now he's just in a little dirt hole in the ground. Today, we're going to make that up to him by building him a very large temple to thank him for all the gifts he has bestowed upon us. Should probably replant some of these trees. So in a creative world, I went ahead and came up with a bit of a design. Now, when you're doing stuff in creative, I don't know, I find it easy to get a little bit carried away, and that is certainly what has happened this time. Oh, this is kind of showing the wrong schematic. So jumping into Lightmatica, we can get rid of that. And we have the Church of Beelzebub. I'm going to keep calling him Beelzebub. So it's kind of based off the Trinity Church in New York, but of course that's got like massive pointy spires, which you don't get, so pretty quickly I had to come up with my own design. But there's a slight problem. We need 4,500 soul sandstone, smooth soul sandstone. We need a whole bunch of... Yeah, this thing's pretty big. This thing is pretty big. Now, soul sandstone, I'm not going to spoil it by loading that schematic in. Soul sandstone brick. We can only get it. We could do it in a cutting machine, but I don't have this automated, and like a steam one of these would be pretty slow. We could dive into, you know, some more modern industrialization, but we're kind of doing the magic thing at the moment. So we're going to be mining a whole bunch of soul, and actually I thought we had to smelt it, so I am relieved to see that we do not. And I'm assuming all of this is kind of just crafting. We also need some of these ones. There's going to be a lot of stone cutting going on. But still, that's actually really good. Now, smooth soul sandstone. That's concerning. I have extensively used smooth soul sandstone in the build, and I can't actually see. Where that is. Yeah, that's like the second most used thing. Hopefully we can craft that. Hopefully that's just a thing, and it will be craftable. So I think it's time to head into the Nether and mine up a bunch of stuff. By chance, do I happen to have... I think I'm gonna have enough emeralds to upgrade the deck, because that's going to be a absolutely huge help. Yeah, nice. And then I can stop like dropping dirt on the ground every time I mine it. Cool, there we go. So instead of 4,000, we'll now pick up 4 times as much. And quest reward. Nice. Let's go on in our loot bag of loot bags, which is that one. So I'm going to head to the Nether. We're going to have to stock up on some blood first, because probably going to be doing a bit of excavating, and we can't eat. Like, we don't eat anymore. So I don't know how like saturation is going to go, but we are certainly going to find out. I don't have a lot of rockets, but once it's nighttime, that doesn't matter too much. Time to harvest some materials, some food for our trip to the Nether. Alright, come on, mate. Thank you. here we go. A Soul Sand Valley. So we've got 199 soul soil. Also going to want some soul sand, which actually that must be in there already. 1.3k. So we need lots more. We need lots more. I don't know. Maybe like... I mean, there's a lot of stuff here. Let's say like... Maybe if we filled the tank with soul sand. That might be a good choice. Now, what I am concerned about is nutrition options, which are not great. And actually, is it just me, or is that not going down when we excavate? I mean, it seems pretty good. Yeah, and Undead ignore us because we've got these boots on that we got from the Vampire Queen, Lilith. Yeah, okay. I am no longer concerned about running out of nutrition. This seems like it should be fine. I'm going to make a real mess of this area, though. Alright, we're no longer picking up soul soil. We have almost 14,000 soul sand and maximum soul soil. I think we've probably got enough. And hunger has not been an issue. So I think excavate doesn't seem to touch your whatever the bewitchment hunger stuff is. It must be slightly different, which is very handy for me because yeah, that would have been a real pain having to constantly go and get more blood. Okay, yeah, nah. Not worth it. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, so now begins the arduous process of crafting all of the soul sand into the soul stuff. And I guess first thing on the list is, can we actually make those soul block things that I was kind of relying on being able to make? Don't put the backpack on. So if we were to grab out, put this in the right mode, let's just grab out a stack. Becomes soul sand, or soul sandstone. Oh no, I can't see the recipe for it. Slight issue. I mean, does this look similar enough? We might just have to go with that. It's going to be a little bit of a pain, actually. I might see if I can try and figure out how to fix that recipe, but okay. Test stuff in. Creative first, because this just gives us... That's the same. Okay. Yeah, so time to craft a whole bunch of stuff. And we're also going to need a decent amount of candles. Oh, I guess it's... Yeah, like these take candles, that takes candles. These are all candles. We don't have a bee farm yet, so might have to create one of them. I think this should all be relatively straightforward. Like it's only 19,000, almost 20,000 items. Easy, easy. And the materials are gathered. And yes, I'm using shulker boxes and modded. I know. So, yeah, been a while since I gathered this stuff. Have updated to the newest version of the pack, which is why you'll see all these little icons and some other new mods to check out, which, yeah. So I mentioned that there didn't seem to be a recipe for Smooth soul sandstone, that is currently still the case. It is going to get fixed at some point, but I swapped these out, and they do look okay. I think I still prefer smooth soul sandstone, but we can swap stuff over if we feel like it. But actually, even getting scoria now is a little bit harder because one of the new mods added means that if you want to smelt soul sand into scoria, you're going to have to use an MI furnace and lock the recipe. Otherwise, you're just always going to get lost souls from Mariam's souls-like weaponry. So, slight issue if you want to copy the build. You can mine scoria in the world, so maybe not the biggest problem, but yeah. There's a lot of it. There's a lot of it in this particular build. So, I'm about ready to construct this, but thanks to Kimbles for suggesting that I don't build this by hand, which is actually going to save a lot of time, because normally what I do is go through and use light Matica. Oh, you didn't see it. I mean, it's probably been in the thumbnail anyway. But you can see over there, there's the big thing, and you go through and place all the blocks manually, which is going to be a problem because it does go up quite high. But what I think I'm going to try out is the schematic cannon. Now, this does use gunpowder, and because this is a decently large building, I'm suspecting we're going to need a bit of it. I have been crafting gunpowder in the mixer using... I think there's been some new textures added for more modern industrialization stuff as well. It's going to throw me off for a little bit. But yeah, sulfur dust and coke dust. Now, I don't think I've actually had this in any of the videos, but many episodes ago I did get to the point of being able to make steel, and then I kind of didn't carry on with it and didn't end up upgrading any of those machines, so I just haven't bothered coming back to it. But this is my only supply of coke dust, which we're going to need. I have plenty of sulfur. We're going to need if we want to make a bunch of gunpowder. So I probably need to make sure we're processing some more of that in the coke oven. And yeah, one day we'll carry on with modern industrialization, but I know it's going to be a big grind to get through that. And I do like focusing on one thing mainly at a time. So I'm going to whip together the schematic cannon, which is pretty simple, bit of iron, nothing too major. The schematic table, so we can load it from the file I've created, and we just need an empty schematic, which is pretty straightforward. And yeah, this thing looks very easy to use, and is going to mean I just get to sit back and relax. Maybe use some temporal pouch, which has 7 hours of time. Use that on the schematic cannon. Supplying materials to it might be difficult. Because this obviously isn't going to all fit in chests that we can put around it. But yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. Oh, and also, yeah, had a villager because I needed a bunch of candles. I do not want to trade you those things. And this is Jack. He sells candles. You can call him Candle. Okay. So we have our empty schematic. We have our schematic table and a schematic cannon. So yeah, very simple to make, just a little bit expensive in terms of iron. Now I suspect there might have been quests for this. Yeah, there is the create schematic stuff. So yeah, since I already have the schematic saved from doing it in creative mode, I kind of get to skip a little bit. But generally what you would do is create a schematic in Quill, which is literally just a feather in this, and I mean, we may as well show it. We may as well show it in case you want to use it. So you'd copy something like, we'll do something really simple, like that, and then you'd right click and you'd save it, and you'd be like, crappy fence. And that saves it as crappy fence NBT, and then you can paste this or put this into the schematic cannon, which we could plonk here. We could say, hey, schematic goes, add your schematic here, make sure it is deployed at a specific location, schematic in Quill. Oh, right. You get the schematic table. And then you would put this in here and you would open your folder. Oh, and that actually is opening a folder that you can't see. You'd pick... Actually, I don't know why I opened the folder. That was weird. Oh, right. There we go. Okay, you scroll. Grab your fence. It's going to use the schematic. That's okay. Here is the schematic. We can see it in the world. You could plonk it into this. And then once you put gunpowder in here, which I'm not going to do because it'll waste it, I think as soon as you put gunpowder in, he's going to start looking for items in chests around him. So actually this obsidian chest I made when I was crafting all the scoria and stuff will hold a decent amount of stuff. As long as you get the items there, you'll start shooting them out into the world, which is going to be cool. But we don't want to make a crappy fence. We want to make something for Lord Beelzebub. Not Beelzebub. Beelzebub, but now I need another one of those schematics. Luckily, paper crafts on 3. So what I want to do, and actually I just realized this is going to completely spoil the build. Although again, it's would have been in the thumbnail. So Beelzebub. I mean, I spelt it Beelzebub there on purpose. Beelzebub 2. We load that. And this one takes a while because it's a decent size structure. Cool. And now we have the schematic. And we can kind of see the area we're talking about. I'm going to want to make sure I clear out a bit of it too. It's a little bit hard to see. I'm thinking I want a little bit of space around it. I think I'll just right click there. That's around the wrong way. Oh yeah, there's some frames. I want to rotate it somehow. So how do we rotate it? Control scroll to rotate. You're going to go there. So okay, it's completely spoiled. Oh, but let's just turn the render distance down a little bit. Oh no, it's still, yeah, it might be because shaders are on. Yeah, this is 12 FPS. Yeah, I guess it's rendering in a lot of stuff. So this looks like not a bad spot to put it. There's kind of a bit of space around it. Actually, I might just turn shaders off so that it's a little bit less painful to deal with. Oh, that's better. That's significantly better. Now we're saving a screenshot. Oh yeah, now we've got a whole 20 FPS, which in comparison feels a lot better. So yeah, I think this leaves enough space. Got a bit of space behind, a bit of space to the sides. Yeah, I'll clear out some terrain, and I didn't want to rotate that. Alt, mirror, move. I think that's placed now. Right click while sneaking. We don't, we'll just do, yep. I think that's saved now. Oh, I thought it had actually pasted it into the world, and I thought that was a massive problem. So yeah, that's kind of what it's going to look like. I don't know how we stop it from rendering. Let it just move. No, that looks okay. Well, that just moved it. I mean, I think it's close enough. And then wherever I put my schematic table. I mean, that's done. No, now we can just use the schematic cannon. And I guess we plonk it about roughly where it's going to go. About here. chuck in the schematic. Boom. Oh, that's better. Put shaders back on because it makes the building look better than it really is. Perfect. And now, yeah, we chuck gunpowder in this thing. I don't want to place it in the world. And he's ready to go. And then we put chests around him. Now, we're kind of going to want to... That'll be fine. I've got a gold chest here as well. And then we load these chests up with all the stuff. Yeah, which is going to take a while. Yeah, it's going to take a while. Alright, I think we're kind of almost ready. Yeah, things don't quite all fit, unfortunately, in the chests we've got. But we are pretty close, so I might have to keep a slight eye on this, just to make sure we don't run out of certain things, but this is everything we're going to need. Yeah, so a couple of slots left to fill in. But I think all that's left to do, clear ourselves a little viewing area, which actually maybe up here would be better, so we get a good view. Plonk down a chair, take a seat, and we're going to watch this big structure get built for us. Now I need to we pop out the back. I do need to kick this off. So we have the schematic in there. We are loaded up on gunpowder. I'm pretty sure I want to start recording a replay mod thing so we can do a time lapse of it. And yeah, as long as it doesn't run out of stuff, it'll be fine. Now you can set it to skip missing blocks. Protect block entities. Currently enabled. Okay, there's no chests there. So you could do that skip thing. If you don't do that, it'll stop as soon as it runs out of, let's say, for some reason I had one not enough red carpet things. I was one short of red carpet. It would mean once it got to that point, it would just stop and wait. And in playing around in creative, yeah, it seems to pick up stuff in chests either side of it. I could have upgraded this chest to a bigger one, and then we could have fitted everything in there, but I think this should be fine. I think this should be fun. We've almost got everything, and I think there should be spaces in chests by the time we get to that point. So, well, let's stop mucking around, and away he goes. And now we can just sit back, relax, probably temporal pouch it so it goes a little bit faster, which, yeah, works really well, really well. Which might make the time lapse a little bit jerky if I get bored and start temporal pouching it. But we're just going to end up with a massive structure for Beelzebub. And it's done. Now, yeah, it wasn't so much a relaxing time waiting for this to get built. Because this does... It's not slow, but when there's this many blocks in the structure, it would take a while for it to finish the whole thing. So, yeah, haven't really done a lot with the terraforming. It kind of is just sitting there. We will sort something out. I've kind of got an idea of what we could put around this. This could end up being our spirit area as well. We will see, but just chucked in the the big torch up there to try and stop mob spawns, because it's a little dark in here. It is a little dark in here. I think a lot of that is to do with the tinted glass behind all the fences. But yes, so the interior is reasonably kind of bare. Pretty much I built the exterior, tried to make that look cool. So you've got like the fences poking through the glass. Well, not poking through, but kind of making it look like there's the crisscross support things you have in some windows. Yeah, actually not bothered that we've used scoria instead of the soul sandstone. It's actually kind of hard to tell. They don't exactly go together. The smooth soul sandstone is kind of more this color than this color, but it might actually be nicer having that slight difference. But yes, this thing's big. This is a ridiculous structure for something we might not interact with a lot, but I think it's cool. So you might be able to figure out where Lord Beelzebub is going to be hanging out. He's going to be up here. It actually didn't put the fences in. Yeah, I had to put the carpets in myself as well. Put some fences in. But yeah, didn't put any of the carpets in. And either temporal pouching this thing to like 32 speed, which was as far as I took it, which was pretty quick. Either that might be resulting in some things getting duplicated, or I'm just really bad at working out how many materials I need. Did I accidentally make this much extra? Possibly. I'm not seeing the gates. I thought I had fence gates in there. I might have actually been short some stuff. I thought I didn't have that on the mode where it... Oh. He wasn't finished. Whoops. I don't know what blocks he just put there. I suspect maybe that was the fences. And yeah, these fences are just going to be to keep old Beelzebub hanging around up here. I think he's going to be tall enough to see over this. And yeah. This is ridiculous. This is a ridiculous thing to build. But it was a lot of fun to make. And I'm actually very happy that it is now sitting in the world, despite the fact that I didn't look and see... Oh, it empties the schematic. Interesting. I didn't look and see what blocks are missing. But yeah, they're obviously not super, super important. All right, the risky bit. We have to try and get him out of this boat, which that actually went really well. And I want you to hop in that, please. Just stand in the... Okay, he's away. He's away. And then this will send you into your new home. Nice. Nice. And then we can not break that. We can do that. Now, I'm really hoping he can't get out. He doesn't seem to be able to get past like fences and walls, which is nice. This would be kind of cool if you're free up here. How do I... Very carefully. Where is your hitbox? Your hitbox is there, so this isn't you. Oh! How do I get you out of this? Oh dear. We've hit him, we've definitely lost the ability to transform. Oh mate, how do we get you out of that? That is a problem I didn't foresee. This is a problem. Oh, I definitely don't want to put you down there. That would be a bad time. Huh. Well, that's not great. That's not great at all. And where is my diamond lasso? Because I'm pretty sure this wouldn't pick him up. Dude. Well, it seems pretty intermittent when that thing works. Okay. Well, that's okay. So this worked the entire time. Cool. Now you're free. You don't even mind that I hit you. That's good. That's good. And then we get rid of this. And then I put the carpet back. And then now we need another grotesque stew. Because I want to be able to control when I transform. That would be ideal. Alright, time to put things right in the world. I'm sure you'll forgive me for punching you multiple times and then putting you inside a small container to move you, but what, mate, hey, can I, excuse me, okay, just one little, no, just, oh, he's mad. There we go. Much better. Much better. Now, I think ideally Lord Beelzebub would not be all by himself in his temples. So if we grab some purple pigment, which we're actually a little bit short of, might have to sort that at some point. But okay, that's going to let us get a few of these anyway. And then 5 onyx. We can... That's cool armor. That is cool armor. We can get ourselves... And can we... No, we still can't do that. Okay. If we craft a bunch of this tinted semi-permeable glass... I've got a plan. I've got a plan to give our friend some friends. Nice. And if we're quick... Nice. Nice. Now what I am slightly worried about is going to be whether or not these guys get along. There's nothing burnable in here, so we should be okay. Yeah. Yeah, you guys get along. So that's good. And then you shouldn't be able to get out of here. Right. And then we can have just some friends walking around. Now what might happen is like this raven. He's going to get a little bit too close. So that is going to happen. But... Oh, and the villager guards, they might get a bit close. But I mean... That's their own fault. Alternatively... We could block off... this area. And then it's a little bit less of an issue. Yeah, I think that's better because I don't especially like the way that looks. I don't like how that looks either, but that's okay. So this would be where being able to tame the demons would be good because you could just get them to stand still. But now we can come over here and we can... Yeah, we can do stuff. Can't remember what all these contracts do, but we can get a bunch of demons in here, and if we ever come in here without our armor, it's going to be a bad time. It'll be a very bad time. But I've got some materials, and we have a supply of sacrifices over here. What is this? A moderately sized Chungus. He's fast. Okay. A big Chungus music disc. Dude. Wrong choice. Wrong choice. But here we go. We have plenty of demons hanging around. I don't think they quite understand how the chairs work, but yeah. So we can now... I mean, I forget what all of these contracts do. Like last animals to breed under whoever has this contract. To breed thrice the usual amount. Huh. So like you breed 2 sheep and you get 3 baby sheep. It's kind of neat. It's kind of neat. I'll have to keep an eye on these. Yeah, I'm sure some of these will be handy. Some of these will be handy. But the reason I wanted that diamond is, well, if we're getting ready to finish the quests for Bewitchment, which we can, we're going to have to head to the Twilight Forest. Literally just to get a raven, which isn't too big of a deal, honestly. But I'm thinking it might be kind of cool to have a portal here. Now, I mean, it doesn't really make sense, but this is like a demonic cathedral thing, so maybe it does make sense. All right, so the portal is ready to go, which we'll do next episode, because, yeah, I think we've had a pretty successful day today. Yeah, this place is cool. What are you doing on the table? Oh, you're not. I'm on the table. Yeah, come in, grab some contracts, like pride, sure, we'll lose some hearts and gain some evil powers. We can't grab that again. And greed. I don't know, I think it was like looting or something, or fortune. Oh, I think it was fortune, but it also smelted the ores, which actually isn't ideal. But yes, I think Beelzebub's happy with, or Beezlebub. He's Beelzebub to me. I think Beelzebub will be happy with his new area, even if it is slightly a prison. Slightly a prison. But alright, we will come back next time, and the plan is to finish off the Bewitchment quests, though I think there's still a few things we haven't checked out in Bewitchment yet, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. So next episode, a little bit of Twilight Forest, maybe we'll fight some bosses as a werepire, and I guess we'll probably also be getting into some spirit if we're going to be making the broom, which is the final Bewitchment thing for those quests. Anyway, this has been ClassicDuff. Thanks for watching. We'll come back next time for some more All of Fabric 6. See ya.